and Indian crowd. And that's the beauty. Whenever India travels, they've got so many Indians and they're cricket nuts. They're absolute mad people about cricket.
Well, you could say that. Touch fuller on the pads of Huda. Opening up. We were expecting Gaikwad to open up, weren't we?
Yeah.
Alongside Kishan. What do you think apart from the fact he's had a decent IPL, what do you think of the? Do you think that would have been a change that's been, coming for in the build up to the match, or just a hunch from Hardik Pandya?
I think it's just a hunch from Hardik Pandya, and also because the numbers of overs have been reduced. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Huda has been sent up the order. Not that Gaikwad can't hit the ball.
Right arm over the wicket from Adair. Another scampered single as the ball cannons off the pads, and score moves along. We saw earlier on a wonderful innings from Harry Tector. Came to the crease with Ireland in all sorts of trouble. 22 for 3 when Gareth Delaney was dismissed, and we're even talking about Ireland being bowled out inside 12 overs. In the end, they actually only lost one more wicket after that, and in the main it was thanks to Tector, but this should be called a wide. Again, just trying to slant the ball across the left-handed Kishan, but a fraction too wide this time from Adair. His first 4 balls have just gone for 3 runs.
But he batted really well. Again, going back to Harry Tector, played an incredible knock, and he looked at ease against some quality bowling, and that's the big difference between him and the others. He looked completely at ease out there in the middle.
Adair is in again. Similar tactic with the ball wide and going across the right-handed Kishan. Does get bat on ball, but only a single fielded in the covers. Essentially, Tector hit Axar Patel out of the attack and he never came back again.
Yeah, same with Umran Malik. Umran Malik went for 15 of his first over. Tector hit him for a beautiful pull over square leg in his last delivery for a massive 6. And he just got rid of a couple of bowlers, just let them bowl 1 over. That's why it was such a good innings from him.
1 ball left of the second over, and again on good length, straighter this time to the right-handed Huda, who plays defensively back down the track. So 2 overs into the run chase, and India 20 without loss. The target 109, Huda 2, and Kishan 16 from 7.
Yeah, that was a very good over from Adair. Came back really strongly after the first over where they gave 15 runs. A very good line, very good length, not really allowing the batsmen to open their arms or free their arms and play those shots freely. Again, 3rd over now. This is going to be interesting. Who's going to bowl the 3rd over? With Ishan Kishan on strike. He's going to go after every delivery here, Ishan Kishan. That's the brand of cricket he plays. That's the brand of cricket India needs if they want to win T20 matches against top sides.
Well, it's going to be Craig Young, who had a really good series against the West Indies earlier in the year in ODI cricket, 9 wickets at 15, who is going to bowl the first ball of the 3rd over. And again, this is beautifully played by Kishan. I tell you what, that's as nonchalant a 4 as you're going to see in cricket, isn't it? It was almost as though the fielder was stationed at 3rd and he was running the ball down for a single. He's just chopped this away. Minimum bat movement. It was more of a push than anything. He just placed the bat in the way of the ball and guided the ball past the fielder at backward point for 4.
Yeah, that shows that he can be very aggressive. He can hit the ball hard, but he can time it as well.
Well, if you're listening, you would have heard the sound of the ball hitting the bat and then a gap before it then hit the top of the tarpaulin on the tent at square leg. Again, minimum effort, maximum return, and Kishan, for the 2nd time in the match, goes bang bang, 2 boundaries on the bounce.
Also looking in complete control. That was a massive hit. That ball was travelling, and it kept travelling for a long way. But that was again in complete control of that hook shot from Ishan Kishan. And hence, I mean, Rishabh Pant, again coming back to Rishabh Pant, should feel a lot of pressure because Ishan Kishan can do the job with the gloves as well. He's a really good keeper. So if he can open the innings and keep the innings for India, I mean, that gives an Indian team a massive opportunity in the middle order.
Pressure on the bowler. Just drags back the length and maybe a touch slower. It's the economy of movement as well from Ishan. I mean, how do you think he would fare in Australian conditions?
Yeah, I think he's a very good player of short bowling, and hence I'm saying that, yeah, I think Rishabh Pant is going to go to Australia because he's such a powerhouse cricketer, just having an off time recently. But he's got to make some changes to his game if he wants to be consistent.
Kishan facing 26 from 10, and Craig Young with the perfect comeback. For the first time in his innings, Kishan lost his body shape. He was playing a foolish delivery across the line, trying to heave the ball rather than place it, and his stumps look a mess. Ireland hit back. India lose their first wicket here on talkSPORT 2.
Yeah, as you said, lost a bit of shape, going for that big heave over the cow corner, which he loves. Often he gets the middle of the bat, but on that occasion we heard the noise of the timber. Was a bit fuller than he anticipated, but still a very good innings of 26 of just 11 deliveries. India loses their first wicket of 30 after 2.4, and it'll be interesting to see who comes in. Is it Hardik Pandya? The cheer says it's Hardik Pandya. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, he bowled a couple of overs, didn't he, as well, Hardik? So, you know, the captaincy has brought the kind of player that you'd expect.
It's Surya.
But it isn't Hardik Pandya. Is that Surya Kumar?
Yeah, Sky, as everyone calls him in India. Surya Kumar Yadav. He's again, what a terrific cricketer he is.
Again, I mean, you know, these guys, they were putting England to the sword in the T20s and the ODIs. Yeah. Was it last year, start of last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous talent. A little bit older than Kishan, isn't he? Is he 29? 30?
Yeah, he's around 30.
A bit longer.
Yeah. His opportunity was delayed.
Oh, I tell you what, that could be, unless it's an inside edge. No! Wrapped on the pad, first ball, and Surya Kumar's been given that leg before wicket. Young has taken 2 in 2. A little bit of a conflict between the two batters. They will go upstairs, but if he hasn't hit that, Abhishek, I think that might be out. 30 for 2 as things stand.
I think the only thing which could save him here is the height, because I felt that ball hit him a bit high on the pads, or maybe the inner thigh pad. We'll have to wait and see.
He's a taller
director. We have a player review for LBW.
So
the on-field decision is out. I've checked the front foot. Can we start with front on spin vision, please?
I think the fact it took him a while to review indicates there's no bat on ball.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Doesn't appear to be any bat, but we'll confirm that with Ultra Edge.
It's pitched up and it's
keep it
swung
rolling.
into the right hand.
Keep it rolling.
That's
gap between bat and ball. Satisfied that there is no bat. We'll move on to ball tracking.
Just above the knee roll. Off stump is visible.
Ball tracking coming up. Pitching outside off. Impact and line. Wickets hitting. Mark, stay with your on-field decision. I'll let you know when you're on screen.
Wow.
You're on screen now. Signal out.
There we go. Kath Dalton earlier on says she had a feeling. Well, even she didn't say we might see a hat-trick today. not when Ireland were bowling.
Yeah, that's a great first-up delivery, really. That's a wonderful, wonderful delivery. Pitching off, nipping back into the right-hander. And as a batter, you can't really do a lot if you get that sort of a delivery when you're facing your first delivery in the innings. As you said, hat-trick opportunity. In comes the captain, Hardik Pandya. He's been in very good form recently in the IPL. Led his team to the trophy, first ever trophy for Gujarat Titans, playing their first ever IPL. It's a new team which has been added this year in the IPL. So yeah, a lot will depend how he bats.
And he left an established side, didn't he? Like the establishment side.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
In Mumbai. Right then, hat-trick ball here on talkSPORT 2. It's Craig Young who's dismissed Kishan as well as Yadav, and he is in. And this is played comfortably enough to cover point, and hat-trick averted. But Ireland back in the match after an explosive little cameo from Ishan, which lasted 11 deliveries, which saw 5 boundaries. He's been and gone, 26 from 11 balls. Surya Kumar Yadav lasted just one delivery. LBW. And Huda's been there for ages. Oh, hang on a second.
Oh.
No ball. So that final ball of the third over will have to be played again. We're just seeing a replay of that, and yes, correct decision. Although I'm not sure Young will be too disappointed. I suppose it's a free hit, so full on middle stump and lofted up and over, long on for 6. So Hardik Pandya's up and away, and that's an expensive end to what actually turned into a very good over for Ireland. India 37 for 2.
Yeah, the umpires would love to check it though. Even though it looked like a 6, just dropping on the boundary, skirting. They might have bounced just short of the skirtings. So we'll have to wait and see for the third umpire decision. Yeah, just bouncing inside the Thursday.
Wow, your eyesight's obviously better than mine, Abhishek. That's incredible.
I'm watching the ball pretty well this year.
Yes.
Yeah, batting wise as well, John.
Okay then. So, it's just been a good game. I must admit, I would have taken this about 3 hours ago. Ireland 108 for 4 from their 12 overs. We've had 3 overs to reply. And India 35 for 2. We've had 2 wickets in 2 balls. We had 6 boundaries. And is Mark Adair going to bowl his second over? I think so. His first one went for just 4. And Deepak Huda is going to face, and he's beaten. Again, movement into the right-hander. Slow to get the bat down. That could have taken the edge, but went through to the keeper.
I have a huge question mark with his stance at the moment. I mean, I just don't understand. Cricket is a very simple sport, and as cricketers, we often complicate it too much by trying too many different things and making it really, really complicated with the stance, with where we keep the hands and stuff like that. And at the moment, if I look at Deepak Huda, he looks completely out of sorts to me.
Yeah, we just thought pictures for the moment, but I suppose Ireland will be heartened by the start. You know, they've been pegged back when they were batting, and they came back, they recovered to a decent total. And again, you know, just when it looked like the game was going to get away from them, 2 quick wickets, and again, it's about competing on a base level, and they're doing exactly that.
Yeah, and they've just got to try and put the pressure and keep taking wickets. The only way they can get back in the game or win this game or even get close to this game is if they can pick up wickets on a regular basis. They can't allow India to have a partnership of 30-40 runs, because that will make the game very, very easy for this very talented Indian side. So from their perspective, they just got to take another couple of wickets.
How close do you think Hardik could be to the Test side if there was a COVID case?
I think Hardik Pandya should play Test cricket if he is fit to bowl. Period. I mean, he's a cricketer who can play all formats of the game, and he'll do very, very well in all 3 formats. But if he doesn't bowl, you can't play him. But if he's bowling fit, he walks into that side.
He walks in.
For me, I think Hardik Pandya he's a player who can change the game very quickly in Test cricket as well, coming in at 6 or 7.
Follow the England template these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how long it's going to be before that other teams start to play the way that they have been. Outside edge flies away, couple of bounces, and there's no fielder at third. So another 4 to the score. 44 for 2 now, India, the motoring. 65 needed from 50 deliveries, and that was there to be hit, really.
And so far what I've seen of Deepak Huda, he looks anything but in cricket but an opener. Anything. Oh, nowhere close to that delivery again, and I just can't put my head around it with his stance, what he's trying to do with his stance here.
It's ungainly, to say the least. The pick-up and pull, fielded by Delaney at deep square leg. I mean, it's an unusual stance. It's basically, he's got his legs spread.
And his left leg is nearly facing mid-wicket or square leg even.
It's almost like he's getting ready to wrestle you rather than to bat. But he's still in. 10 from 9, 2 fours, and Hardik Pandya, the captaining India for the first time. We've got one ball left of the power play in this 12-over game. The power play normally in a 20-over match, 6 overs, the first 6 overs, but today the first 4. Adair is in, and no run, so decent end to a strange old over. Couple of boundaries in it, a wide, good start, but for India, there's 2 quick wickets in the over that preceded it, but they're in a very strong position here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they bowl a spinner and what was the strategy these batters will have against a spinner. Because small boundaries, there's not massive boundaries here. And it's just about one big over and India gets closer to the target of 109. It's really loud. It's really, really loud at the ground. It's like... And there's a lot of cheer for Hardik Pandya and this Indian side.
Well, I saw one sign saying, I've waited 2 years for this game, so please can it not rain. Something along those lines. And it does seem like the fans have just stayed there.
Yeah, they're not gonna go home unless the match has been called off. That's how the Indian fans are. They would stay there even if it's raining, hailing, snowing. As long as they have any hope of a game of cricket, they're not moving.
Young, right arm over the wicket as there's a trigger movement from Huda towards off stump. Then he moves to leg. Young fires it wide of off stump. Huda desperately tries to swing the bat. It's just about inside the tram lines. And I don't think a wide was called.
No, because I think he moved outside the leg stump. He gave himself a bit of room and the ball was inside that tram line as well. Good decision by the umpire.
Yep, absolutely. This time straighter, defended. No run, back up to the bowler.
At the moment, when you look at Deepak Huda, there's too many moving parts with his batting. And as a batter, you try and stay as stable as possible at the point of delivery. But at the moment, you just feel that there's too many moving parts in his batting and he's not really stable when the ball is being delivered. And when you do that, sometimes it's very hard to pick the length early, which makes batting a bit easier. But I'm sure he's got plenty of good coaches around.
Cover driven this time, fielded by Paul Sterling. It's an extra cover. I mean, this extravagant batting stance, is this how he's been batting for the last couple of years?
I've not seen him stand like that for a long time. This is something which he's done recently. And yeah, sometimes, I mean, the players, when they're out of form, they're not scoring runs, they try and make a lot of changes. They try and do something just to see if it works. Often it doesn't.
Beaten again, swing from Young. And no real foot movement from Huda. So this over is a cheap one so far for Ireland. India 46 for 2.
Yeah, the way he's standing with his left leg so wide open towards mid-wicket, square leg even. If you as a bowler bowl outside the off-stump fuller length, he's not getting his left leg close to the pitch of the delivery. There's no way he can move that feet from mid-wicket to cover. It's not going to happen.
Again, this is on the body of Huda. Clips this ball to Adair, stationed at mid-on. So gets off strike finally, Deepak Huda. Then we've got one ball left of this 5th over. It's been bowled by Craig Young, who took 2 wickets and 2 balls in his first over after taking a little bit of tap. Ishan Kishan and then Surya Kumar Yadav departing in successive balls. 2 balls left actually of the 5th over. Feel a little bit more spread as we're outside of the power play. Past the umpire, and it's a flat-footed prod from Hardik Pandya this time, and again outswing and no run.
Yeah, again Hardik Pandya getting beaten outside that off stump. They're bowling a good length, very good length here at the moment. Just slightly outside the off stump, that in between length, not short, not full, not allowing the batter to get under the ball. either on the front foot or on the back foot. And hence, we're seeing a lot of prodding outside that off stump from both these players.
Final ball of the over. Fuller pitched up on off stump, and it'll be a single to end over number 5. So terrific over from Young, who after those 2 boundaries has taken 2 wickets and really dragged things back. 18 from his 2. It doesn't sound exceptional in itself, but it feels like the pressure in the game that was building on Ireland's shoulders has just been taken a little bit. India needs 62 from 43, 8 overs remaining. We've still got a game here, Abhishek.
Yeah, I think at the end India would do it quite easily if they have wickets in hand, because its run rate required is around 9 and over, which in T20 cricket is pretty easy with 8 wickets in hand with 7 overs to go. But yeah, they came back with those 2 wickets, and then their last couple of overs have been pretty good, right on the money. They bowled a good length, good line. And now this can be very, very interesting with off-spin being introduced with Huda and Hardik Pandya and McBride is bowler. This could go the distance, John.
If you're at deep mid-wicket, get ready.
Everywhere. I mean,
everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. Both these players love going downtown or over cow corner, mid-wicket area. So this can get very, very interesting.
Two right-handed batters at the crease, and it's Hardik Pandya, the captain, facing up. Well, he's absolutely smashed that over. Yep, you guessed it. Cow corner, and that's this could be an ugly over. Very ugly over. Hardik moves to 11, and the score 54 for 2. The target 109.
I mean, these are the overs where you, as a batter, if you ever fantasized or dreamt about hitting 6 sixes in an international game, you take it on. You go for it.
Well, that was absolutely in the slot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just angling in on off stump on a good length. Down on one knee, crunch. You know the rest. Well, that's ball 1. Already the bowler's trying to get out the over. Wide of the crease, does a little jig, fired in from McBride. That wasn't a spinner at all, he was just darting that in on off stump and clipped away for a single. 55 for 2.
Yeah, this is where Deepak Huda is dangerous. He's got such long levers. And he can hit the ball a long way as well. So this is going to be very, very interesting with his open wide stance as well.
Down the track, a flourish, and 6 number 2 for the over. This time over long on. 61 for 2, India chasing 109.
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched these 2 players ever, one thing you wouldn't do is give a ball to an off spinner with these short boundaries and with such a good batting pitch. This is going to go. This over is going to be an absolute mayhem from both these players. I'm surprised that Hardik Pandya took a single in the last delivery. He didn't try and hit it.
McBride in again, fired down the leg side. This will be called a wide. And essentially, I'm not sure we're going to see any more McBride after this. Any pressure whatsoever is just dissipated. Movement away from Huda, fielded by Sterling. And the covers, no run.
Dot ball, didn't expect that. Deepak Huda tried to play through off stump.
And again, in quicker. And this is aimed, it would have been essentially leg side wide, but Huda's so far to the leg side. Actually cramped him for room in the end. And 1 ball left of the over. 63 for 2. Ireland, or rather India. Sound from the bat will tell you that that's got the distance as well. 3 sixes from McBride's over. Not sure we'll see the captain again today. 21 coming from it. And India have broken the back of the run chase inside 6 overs. The target 109. And they have reached 69 for 2. And after a word from Abhishek Jujunwala for the final time, it'll be Neil Manthorpe and Kath Dalton.
Yeah, again in the slot. You cannot bowl there. As an off spinner with these players, it's impossible to bowl an off spinner. They're such good players of spin bowling. But again, a big over, 21 of that over. And India looking to finish it quite quickly here, Neil.
Yeah, that's the plan, isn't it? Win it with an over to spare. Don't let the game be taken deep. Hardik Pandya 18 off 8. Deepak Huda after a slow start 19 off 17. And well, Ireland had their moment. 2 wickets and 2 balls. Oh, that's leg side, length delivery, heaved over the hospitality marquees at deep backward square leg. Easy pick-up, easy as you like. And Kath, it's finishing with a gallop now.
It certainly is. What a lovely shot that was by Huda, just picked off his legs with ease. That's not a great first ball in international cricket. Looked like it was actually going to go for a wide had he not hit it. So lovely free for his hands by Huda. And where do you bowl from here as a bowler if you're an Ireland player?
I think you pull a hamstring, let someone else finish the over. Yeah, it's there's no way. We always say there's nowhere to hide in Test cricket, but the brutality of T20 cricket, especially when it's reduced to 12 overs a side, can be well. At least it's over quickly.
Absolutely. We saw, though, the Ireland bowlers didn't quite get it right, did they, in that first power play, compared to the Indian bowlers. Probably bowled a little bit too short at times. Didn't find that swinging length as much.
Here's Alford again. Oh, and he's beaten him out past the inside edge. That's through to the keeper, Dinesh Karthik. Tell you what, I'm not quite sure whether he was beaten or the batsman got himself into a bit of a mess, but he'd made his mind up about Deepak Huda about going through the offside, hadn't he?
He had. I think the field set leg side, he's trying to exploit the gaps on the offside and wasn't successful that time, but that just held its line, that delivery, and it was actually a well bowled comeback.
Deepak Huda 25 off 19 now. Here's Alford, but short wide of the off stump, and it's slapped away to the sweeper on the cover boundary. Good work in the deep from Delaney. Yeah, he has got a leg side field, hasn't he? And he's bowled short and wide outside off.
Yeah, it's interesting, that decision. Maybe a double bluff, I'm not too sure. But yeah, if your field set's leg side, the last place you want to bowl is short and wide outside off stump. But Delaney, with some excellent work on the boundary to prevent that from going for 4. You have to think about where you're bowling in T20 cricket, and you've got to bowl to your field.
That's edged, and it's very well stopped, actually, by Lorcan Tucker, diving to his right, the keeper. And they scrambled through for a quick single. Just a reminder, in this first of 2 T20 internationals, reduced to 12 overs per side, Ireland made 108 for 4, thanks in the main to Harry Tector's 64 from just 33 balls with 6 4s and 3 6s. But India are galloping along, 78 for 2 in the 7th over. Hardik Pandya on strike now, 18 off 8. Here's Alford, and again he's gone past the outside edge. Pandya opening the face of the bat, trying to run it down to third.
It just shows what this pitch can do if you do get it in the right area. You bowl in that back of a length area. He's got a great seam position on this, and actually that's just hit the seam and come back the other way. Sometimes that does happen when you present the seam very well. It can nip off the surface, which it did there. That was a lovely delivery.
You can see why he's the leading wicket taker in the domestic T20 tournament in Ireland. That's what's led to his debut today, Conor Alford, and that one is completely miscued out towards mid-off. Well, he's given himself some room outside the off stump, and he's tried to thump it over mid-off, and I think it's come right off the toe end of the bat, and was actually so poorly mishit it didn't actually reach mid-off inside the circle. And India are 78 for 2 from 7 overs. Their target is 109.
Yeah, and a wonderful knock so far by Hardik Pandya. I think when you come in and you're 18 off 10, it just takes the game away from the opposition when you start to strike the ball so nicely. And Huda didn't have a great start, 28 off 21. I wouldn't say that's a massive acceleration from him, but he's playing his role very nicely here. And not chasing a massive total makes it a little bit easier.
Well, he'd come to a grinding halt. I mean, he's hit 3 6s in that 28 off 21. And it's interesting to me that Ruturaj Gaikwad, who is an opener and always has been, is now scheduled to come in at number 5.
Seems like they're trying different players potentially in different positions leading up to the World Cup that's coming up, trying to see who fits where.
Josh Little, left arm to Hardik Pandya, who slap drives this one, but again mistimes it, and he's quite frustrated. He's replaying the cover drive. He's hit it straight down into the ground, took all the pace off it, and it's a dot ball to mid-off.
Josh Little taking the pace off there. He's coming around the wicket, which is an interesting angle change. I think if nothing's happening in cricket, you have to make something happen as a bowler, so an angle change can often be a good thing.
Open stance, Deepak Hooda on strike, and he slashed this one past short third down to the boundary for 4. It's so hard bowling without a third on the boundary, I think, and he's just a little bit of width and it's 4.
Yeah, if you throw your hands at anything that actually angled back into him and he still managed to get it down to third man, you just throw your hands at it, any nick, and it's 4, isn't it, on this surface?
He sliced it deliberately, didn't he? Open faced the bat and just deliberately slapped it past short third. 82 for 2, target 109. Here's Josh Little persisting with this round the wicket line of attack to Hooda. Oh, and he's wrapped it over the keeper's head for 4. Back of a length, was it pace off again? And he's just leant back and steered it over the keeper's head.
Slow ball bouncer there by Josh Little. Oh, what a wonderful shot this is. He just waited and watched the ball all the way onto the middle of his bat. Terrific shot. I mean, that's a man who's seen the ball pretty well now.
He looked a bit scratchy for the first 3 overs, didn't he?
He did. He doesn't look too scratchy now. I think what this shows is, in international cricket, if you just get it slightly wrong, these Indian players are just going to put you away. He hasn't bowled too many horrific deliveries here, Josh Little. It's just they just pick you off, and it's so challenging.
They read deliveries so well. Here is Little once again, this time back of a length, pace on, punched in front of square on the offside. And although it's fielded at backward point by Lorcan Tucker, you go through for an easy single. Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, what the IPL does, amongst many things for those who play it regularly, is because you play so much and you're used to the different variations, the slower ball bouncers, the knuckle balls, you can pick them. Little in again. Oh, that's slapped high and long. Is it long enough? I think it is. It certainly is. Into the hospitality marquees, straight back over the bowler's head. And that was just sheer power. How on earth did he do that? Back of a length. You're not supposed to be able to hit those balls for 6 back over the bowler's head. It's sort of waist tight.
Yeah, in a test match, that's well bowled. And in a T20 that's gone 75 metres for 6, he just leant back and just played off his back hip and allowed his arms to swing through the line of the ball. What a lovely shot that was.
Here is Josh Little again, down the leg side. He's maybe a little rattled now. That was a real slingshot down the leg side, way past the batsman's pads and through to the keeper. 94 for 2. He'll have to bowl that ball again.
What this does, though, for these island bowlers is it gives them the opportunity to bowl at some of the best T20 players in the world. And the more you play against these types of players, the more you learn about yourself, learn what works, what deliveries are good and when, and potentially what slower balls you need to continue to work on to disguise. And that's the challenge. And when you get it wrong, as we've seen there with Hardik Pandya, it goes the distance.
Here's Josh Little again. Oh, big in swinger. Well bowled. Very well bowled. And up goes the finger. He's appealed for LBW. I thought he hit it. Well, no, not so. Hardik Pandya is going to review, is he? He's going to have a chat to... Obviously, he didn't hit it. He would have reviewed it straight away. He's going to go and... He has reviewed it. He's had a chat to his non-striker, and of course Deepak Hooda says,
out. TV umpire to director. We have a player review.
It's captain's prerogative for you to use a review.
Decision is out.
Yeah, I'm
I've
not sure
the front
he had
foot.
too
It's
much
a fair
of a choice
delivery.
there.
Can we start with? We can start with front on spin vision,
Unless
please.
he's hit this is dead in front of all 3. But the only thing that saves him is if he's hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful delivery. Nice in swinger from Josh Little.
Keep it rolling.
Keep
it rolling.
Swung too much.
Doesn't appear to be any bat, but we'll confirm that with
That's hitting
ultra
leg,
edge.
isn't it? Got to be hitting leg, clipping leg.
Keep it rolling.
I didn't realise how much
Clear
that
gap
swung.
between bat and ball.
I mean, it's a
all the
terrible
way to the
looking
pad.
shot.
Yeah, satisfied there's no bat. We'll move on to ball
Hitting
tracking.
him straight on the back leg.
I think it's hitting leg.
Ball tracking coming up.
No problem with it. It's pitched middle.
Pitching in line.
And
impact in
swung
line.
beautifully.
Wickets,
just clipping leg
umpire's
stump.
call. We'll have Paul back on screen.
Just clipping leg stump. So India lose
Paul,
their
you're on
third
screen
wicket.
now. Signal out, please.
Captain's on his
Signal
way.
out.
Hardik Pandya, 24 off 12 balls. Josh Little has a wicket, 1 for 31. India 94 for 3, needing 109 for victory.
And Hardik Pandya, as you said, with a wonderful knock there, and I think a knock that's really taken the game away from Ireland with a 200 strike rate. It's going to be difficult for them now to really claw anything back into this game. Just a little bit too little, too late.
Well, I mean, India will still win the game comfortably, especially with Dinesh Karthik coming to the crease. I just wonder whether Ruturaj Gaikwad is perhaps she's feeling unwell. We don't know. Injured, yeah. I didn't see an injury in the field when India were bowling to Ireland, but I mean, he's a designated opener. It's all he's done in his senior professional career. Gareth Delaney is back into the attack, and that one is steered away behind square. Sorry, it's Connor Alford. And steered away behind square on the offside. They've trotted through for a single.
That's the challenge for this Ireland side, is you get a couple of world-class players out and another world-class player comes to the crease. The depth in this Indian side is absolutely incredible, isn't it?
34 players currently on Indian national duty. 2 squads of 17, 1 in Ireland, 1 in England.
Just unbelievable. As a country like Ireland, it's hard to compete with that depth of squad. They're a bit like the Man City of
yes, well, exactly. That's a very good Yorker from Connor Alford. Really good, right in the block hole, dug out by Dinesh Karthik, and no chance of a run there. And the thing is, look at those 2 squads of 17 and find the weak link.
That's it, you can't, can you? There's maybe a few players that you might switch in and out, or given form potentially, or injury or illness, but if you're a coach, that's a lovely position to be in.
Here is Connor Alford once again, right arm over the wicket, short wide outside the off stump. Was it too wide? Yes, it was. Out go the arms of senior umpire Mark Hawthorne, and Connor Alford will have to bowl that one again.
What's nice to see here from actually Sterling, who's just gone into slip, is Ireland are still attacking. They're still trying to take wickets. At least they haven't gone completely defensive. They can see new batters come in. They're trying to take a wicket and try and make this game interesting.
This is the 9th over of 12. 12 per side. Here's Connor Alford. India 96 for 3, needing 109. That's full, 2 full, leg stump, and clipped away by Dinesh Karthik. Only for a single. George Dockrell is at the deep square leg boundary and makes a... Well, it went straight to him. Didn't make a save. He just picked it up and threw it back.
It was lovely timing by Dinesh Karthik. He just leant on that one out to the square leg boundary, and it's just got timing, hasn't he? I do enjoy watching him bat. He's one of my favourite players to watch because of his effortless time. He's still got that lovely technique that has a place in T20 cricket.
Connor Alford once again, back of a length, in at the rib cage, nicely bowled, and can only defend it, Deepak Huda, and they do take a single. Karthik called him through quickly. Yeah, I mean, Dinesh Karthik is 36 now, and he was the first to admit he thought his international cricket days were numbered, or over, actually. And he's been brought back into the team after a very fine IPL. And the talk now is that he's, like, perhaps even overtaken Rishabh Pant to be the T20 keeper finisher at the World Cup in Australia.
Yeah, class is always permanent, isn't it? I saw him in the IPL. He's been in wonderful form there. So
Connor Alford in once again, left alone outside the off stump. It was wide. I don't think it was too wide. Dinesh Karthik did. He's now looking quizzically at the umpires, as if to say, why isn't that called a wide? What
it does show you is there is a place for playing proper cricket shots still, even in shorter format cricket. Dinesh Karthik being one of those, more of a traditional player, and there is a place for it. And we've got hard hitting like Pandya, as we saw earlier, but there's still a place for these guys.
Deep in the crease now, Dinesh Karthik. Alput in, down the leg side, slower ball. that one will be called a wide, and Dinesh Karthik knows it. Yeah, the thing is about improvisations and about ramps and reverse ramps and switch hits and all of those innovations is that that's to give you another option if you don't have enough conventional options. And Dinesh Karthik hits as many sixes and fours as any other batsman, playing largely normally.
Absolutely, it just shows you can do both or either as a batter. It depends on your style and what really works for you.
Alford in once again, slapped away behind square on the offside, beats backward point and into the boundary for 4. India now need just 10 for victory from 3 overs, so they are galloping away. Dinesh Karthik with his first boundary moves on to 5. Deepak Hooda has 39 off 27.
That was a stunning shot. That was just outside off stump. You wouldn't say that was necessarily a bad delivery, but it was just a lovely shot. Played it half and half in his body width and threw his hands through it and raced away to that boundary. Beautiful shot.
I have to remind ourselves that Ireland were put into bat in heavy overcast conditions and were very quickly 22 for 3. So to make 108 for 4 is an exceptional recovery by any team, let alone the very much the underdogs Ireland against very much the top dogs India. And that was a respectable total, but you'd be hard pushed to say the bowling has been poor from Ireland.
They're just world-class players, these Indian batters, but I agree with you. I think Ireland will be actually not happy because they've obviously lost the game, but being the underdogs, when you do post a score, when you've been in a difficult position, which they were in, losing a lot of wickets early on, and for such a young player in Harry Tector to come out and do what he did, that would just breed confidence in this Ireland side.
And the second game to come, exclusive, live, ball by ball, here on talkSPORT 2 on Tuesday. Start time 4:30. Hopefully there won't be any rain as we had today. Lovely cover drive. What a beautiful shot from Deepak Hooda. It races away over the Malahide outfield, which is damp. It took a lot of rain, but is still pretty quick. Just a back foot cover drive on the up. A super shot.
That was a lovely shot. Absolutely lovely shot. Josh Little, back of a length, and he's just held his pose there. They're always the best shots. When you hold your pose, you know you've hit it between the gap. You don't run those. You just let that go through for 4.
2 to win for India. Deepak Hooda 43 from 28. Dinesh Karthik has 5. 107 for 3. Target is 109. And there's still 17 balls to go to score these 2 runs for victory. So the expected comfortable victory for India will materialise. Will it be this ball? Here's Josh Little round the wicket to Hooda, who drives square of the wicket on the offside, through point for 4 to finish 47 not out from 29 deliveries. My goodness me, an innings of 2 halves from Deepak Hooda. Unexpectedly opened the batting in place of Ruturaj Gaikwad and looked a little uncomfortable and, I have to say, out of place at the top of the order initially. But he's come good, and come good with some style. 47 not out from 29 balls. India winning by 7 wickets, 111 for 3, 16 balls to spare. Comprehensive victory for India. And, I mean, it's a majority Indian crowd, and they've got their money's worth. I don't know what the entrance fee was, but whatever it was, I think they will feel they've got value for money after a long delay.
They've certainly made enough noise to make us feel like that. Yeah, it's been a good game of cricket. It's ebbed and flowed in places. Obviously India with a convincing 7-wicket win in the end, but there were parts and pockets where you felt Ireland were on top, then India were on top, so it did ebb and flow. It had enough about it. We had some fast bowling, we had some big sixes, and we had some wonderful cover drives as well. So we've been treated to a really good game here.
And a word about Ireland, 22 for 3, very, very tempting to panic. That's not the right word, but very easy to panic at 22 for 3 after 2.5 overs.
I thought they may panic. I mean, on air we were saying that they might get bowled out before the 12 overs were up, and it was nice to see that they didn't. They stuck at it. through some difficult times and difficult patches, but that makes you as a player. And from my perspective, I've had that before, where you're having a terrible innings, as we saw with Huda, who had a game of two halves really. You just stick at it and you find your form in the end. And I think for Ireland, they'll be pleased that they didn't just crumble, I think, against this very, very strong India side.
Former Ireland and current Essex player, Kath Dalton. How good was Bhuvaneshwar Kumar? Swinging the ball both ways. Wicket maiden to begin to set Ireland back. Gee, he's looking the part. Again.
Every time I see him, his seam position is textbook immaculate. He just holds the seam in such a beautiful, almost Jimmy Anderson-like way. And he's difficult because he doesn't really change his wrist position or grip that much to get the ball to shape both ways. And that's the challenge as a batter. You're looking for any nuance that gives you an idea that they're going to shape it in the opposite direction. He just doesn't do that, does he? He just makes it so challenging, and he sets players up in T20 cricket like it's a test match.
Brilliant to watch, and he is the man of the match, by the way, and deservedly so. India winning this game by 7 wickets with 16 balls to spare, and the same team will be back with you on Tuesday. Start time, the game starts ball by ball, exclusively live here on talkSPORT 2 from 4:30. We'll be on air from 4 o'clock with the build-up and look ahead to that game with John Norman and Kath Dalton and Abhishek Jujunwala and myself, Neil Manthorpe. Hope you've enjoyed. I hope you waited around for the entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll have more of the same, hopefully a lot more of similar anyway on Tuesday. But for now, I'm going to hand you back to talkSPORT 2's Russell Hargreaves, who is bringing you the final round